Have you ever created an idea that gave you goosebumps and then never actually released it? So you sit down with your Electron boxes, start with a kick drum and a vibe, and the next thing you know, you've made something raw, emotional, and powerful. You might think this could be it, this is the track, but weeks later, it's still stuck in the machines. Tweaked, overthought, and probably forgotten about. I've been there more times than I can count. I've got old laptops and hard drives full of ideas that once lit me up, even ones I've played live and felt the room respond to in a really magical way. Like this one, a track I performed at Belgrave in Leeds. It gave me goosebumps when I wrote it, and I even remember my eyes getting a little bit wet because it was so emotional at the time. So the question is, why didn't I just release it? Well, I convinced myself it wasn't ready. I made different mixes, tweaked the bass line, and just got sick of hearing it. And now it's just sat there silent on my hard drive, like a photo that I never printed. So some people call it loopitis, but if you've ever sat there staring at a digitact screen at 6 p.m. at night, slowly resampling a hat for the third time, you know it's more than that. It's not just the loop, it's the doubt, it's the comparison, that creeping feeling that this just isn't good enough yet, and maybe I'm not good enough either. You loop something, it sounds amazing, and then you start tweaking, you lose the vibe, and then start trying to recover it, as if that feeling was something you could get back with a different compressor, some more EQ tweaks, or more saturation. And after hours of tweaking, you are absolutely drained, frustrated, and not proud of anything that you have done that day. You turn it all off, you sulk, and you walk away. But you don't stop thinking about it. That moment keeps replaying in your head because deep down you know that track had something, you just didn't trust it. So this mindset doesn't start in music sometimes. For me, it started back in art class at school, still sketching an outline while everyone else handed in their final paintings. And I told myself I was a perfectionist, as if it was some badge of honour, and that it just had to be better. But really, I was just afraid of getting it wrong. You might know that feeling too, where perfect becomes a shield, where you don't share your work because then it can actually be criticised, it's safe and still in progress, but the cost is you still stay stuck. No feedback, no growth, and nothing to show for it. And ironically, the more gear you buy, the worse it can get, because now you feel like you should be finishing more, but instead you've just raised the bar even higher in your own head. So I didn't want to admit it, but my girlfriend, a psychologist, was absolutely right. She said I wasn't making music anymore. I was punishing myself with it. So I'd spend hours tweaking one drum loop, not because it needed work, but because I didn't trust my instincts. I thought that made me a serious producer, disciplined and professional. But over time, I realised something. Perfectionism is not a superpower, it's a mental block dressed up as valiant discipline. And while I was obsessing over snare tails and tiny mix details, 19-year-olds were putting out bangers, learning from every release and evolving faster than I could ever keep up. That was the moment that I knew this wasn't a gear problem or a plugin problem or even a time problem, it was a mindset problem. So there can be moments that hits you after looping the same track for hours. You might realise you're not even making music anymore, you're just tweaking, turning the reverb down 1%, switching snares, moving the same hi-hat track delay a few milliseconds back and forth over and over again, thinking that you are improving the groove. You convince yourself it's progress. But if you're really honest, you're just stuck, still in that same loop. And here's the truth no one tells you. You can't mix a loop into a huge sounding track. You have to go and arrange it first. I remember this one track I spent hours trying to make the loop hit harder, tweaking the kick, layering the claps, EQing every sound to death. But it still felt flat, lifeless, and I thought it was a mix problem. Then I forced myself to just push forward, built out the arrangement, created a breakdown, a rise, a drop, some tension and contrast. And suddenly it had impact. The low end felt heavier, the energy was there, and I hadn't even touched the mix since I started the arrangement. It was the movement that gave it the life, not more saturation or compression. Then I added transition effects and it leveled up again, but I couldn't have done that on a 16-bar loop. It just wouldn't have made sense. And when I got to the real mix, it was much easier because the arrangement was doing half the work. I wasn't trying to balance every single aspect and element of the track at once. Each sound had its own space to shine across time. So that is actually the real secret. Forward momentum gives you perspective. Perspective helps you mix better, finish faster, and make much bolder choices. So if you're sat in front of a loop you used to love, if you're tweaking the same kick for the 90th time, if your hard drive is full of ideas that could have been something but it never made it, this isn't a gear problem, this isn't even a discipline problem, it's a mindset loop, one that you can't actually escape. That voice telling you it's not ready, that's fear wearing a sensible jacket. It sounds rational, it feels protective, but it keeps you frozen. And the truth is, releasing music is how you grow. It's how you find your sound, it's how you get back to actually enjoying this. So it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. A snapshot of where you are right now. Because that's how you build trust in yourself. And the more you do it, the easier it actually gets. So if this one hit home, if you found yourself nodding along, I will be doing more content like this. This video will be part of a full series I've made to help producers like us finally break the loop trap and start finishing music again, even when life's chaotic and time is short. So if they've already been released and you are watching this in the future, you can just keep watching the rest of the series right now. Or if you want extra tips, honest stories, and things that I didn't share publicly, and all the tools that help me turn loops into actual releases, just hit the link below and join the free companion email series. You'll get extra mindset lessons I couldn't fit into the videos, a behind the scenes look at how I actually finish tracks, early previews and updates about my upcoming start to finish hardware to release course. And if you are stuck right now, you are not broken, you're just caught in a cycle, one that I've actually lived through and you can actually break it too. So I'll see you in the next video or in your email inbox.